Thank you. I have a question about Cuba. There have been multiple power outages in the island in recent days. So I was wondering, is the White House monitoring this situation, particularly for signs of unrest? Thank you.
So we are closely monitoring the blackouts on the island, and so we are concerned about the potential humanitarian impacts on the Cuban people. And so, bless you. And like we have seen over the past few years, Cuba's economic conditions stemming from long-term mismanagement of its economic policy and resources has certainly increased the hardship of the people in Cuba. And so, certainly, just want to make clear that this is not, the U.S. is not to blame for the blackouts on the island or the overall energy situation in Cuba. The Cuban government has not requested any assistance at this time, and so we will assess the appropriate next steps if they do request any assistance. And so a critical tenet of the Biden-Harris administration policy as it relates towards Cuba is to always advocate for the support of the Cuban people, and we've been always very clear about that, and so we'll continue.
Do a follow-up, and I know this is a hypothetical, but if the Cuban government were to request assistance, would the Biden-Harris administration be willing to provide it?
So we're going to, if that were to happen, we certainly would assess the next best steps. They have not. Again, it's a hypothetical, and so we're going to assess what's the next best step to do.